Introduction. Teams in the NBA aim to score more three-point field goals to eventually win and have a higher score than the opposing team. In this experiment, we will be testing to see if the number of three-point field goals affect the final score for a team that won the previous season, Golden State Warriors, and for a team that didn't make the playoff, Detroit Pistons. We predict that the more three-point field goals made, the higher the final score would be. We expect to see more three-point field goals made from the Golden State Warriors as they were the champions of last season. Collection of data. The data was collected as a result of going through the box scores for all 82 games played by the Golden State Warriors and Detroit Pistons last season from the website Basketball Reference. For both Golden State Warriors and Detroit Pistons, the mean, median, standard deviation, Q1, Q3, minimum, maximum, box plot, histograms, and scatter plots were calculated. The main objective of this experiment is to see whether there is a relationship between the three-point field goals and score. Statistical representation. The scatterplot figure 1 Golden State Warriors has a moderate positive linear association between the number of three-point field goals and score. The plots are scattered in one area and not all around the place. A linear line is passing through some of the plots but not all. The R value was calculated to be 0.661, which supports the fact that it has a moderate positive linear association. The box plot figure 1 Golden State Warriors displays an almost symmetrical box plot of the number of three-point field goals for Golden State Warriors. An upper outlier of 21 three-point field goals can be seen as well. Last but not least, the histogram of figure 1 Golden State Warriors does not have an outlier. It is not jumbled up nor is it biased left or right. It also shows that the most frequent number of three-point field goals being made is around 13 for Golden State Warriors. The scatterplot figure 2 DET has a weak positive linear association between the number of three-point field goals and score. The plots are scattered in one area and not all around the place. A linear line is passing through some of the plots but not all. The R value was calculated to be 0.493, which supports the fact that it has a weak positive linear association. The box plot figure 2 DET displays an almost symmetrical box plot of the number of three-point field goals for DET. An upper outlier of 23 three-point field goals can be seen as well. Last but not least, the histogram of figure 2 DET has an outlier on the right side of the histogram, 22 to 24. It is not jumbled. It also shows that the most frequent number of three-point field goals being made is around 20 for DET. Calculations. Figure 1 Golden State Warriors. Figure 2 Detroit Pistons. Figure 1 Golden State Warriors. Figure 2 Detroit Pistons. Findings. Our hypothesis did not come true. The scatterplots for Golden State Warriors showed moderate positive linear association, and DET showed weak positive linear association, which of course meant that the number of three-point field goals had an effect on the final score. The Golden State Warriors had the same amount of three-point field goals as DET, which disproves our prediction on Golden State Warriors having more three-point field goals than DET. Both teams had the same mean of 11 three-point field goals, which again showed that it had no effect on the score, as the Golden State Warriors averaged the same three-point field goals as DET last season but won the finals, whereas DET wasn't qualified for the playoffs. Conclusion. We hypothesized that the more three-point field goals made, the higher the final score would be. We expected to see more three-point field goals made from the Golden State Warriors as they were the champions of last season. However, in this experiment it was shown to be false. Differences existed in the histograms and scatterplot in terms of the pattern. And also, both box plots were almost symmetrical. Overall, every data calculated from both teams were leading towards to see whether there was a relationship between three-point field goals and score. Lastly, to get more of a differentiation, instead of Detroit Pistons, we should have selected a team with the lowest performance against a team with the highest performance, which is Golden State Warriors, to get different results from both teams and not similar, one of it being the average three-point field goals. That way you can really compare. Last but not least, the appendix. These are the websites where most of the data we collected came from. That's all. Thank you.